their curriculum at this point. Wiki projects are being done in school levels, and they are actively involved in creating the wiki clubs within schools and working along with it. And yeah, we have a tremendous support from the state government. That is one of the most important factors that we always count on. We have a good media support as well. Okay, challenges. Why did it take so long for the project to pick up? It is primarily because there was no proper Unicode font until 2004. There was no completely functional Unicode font available, and we did not have a proper typing system where people could actually do a transliterational or in-script type keyboard typing. And around in 2004, when the first Unicode font, I think if I remember correctly, Anjali Old Lipi was the font which actually had it all. It's all working fine. So along with that, we got a few guys decided that okay, let's try to build a typing system that everybody can use. So that's how the current binary system of typing has come across. And there are other systems existing at this point, which is Swanalekha and some of the other stuff which is very similar to it, but very minor modifications, but it works. Most people until recently has not heard about Wikipedia in Kerala, state of Kerala. So there was a lot of activism and advocacy from the existing Wikipedia users. Is actually on the works to get that going, and we have a lot of. I'll share with you in a minute. We have a lot of activism going on right now on Wikipedia awareness. Diverse geolocation of people, and usually for a small wiki, it's quite important that people are able to come together in the same time zone and work together, talk to each other, get things done. It's quite impossible for us to deal with that in our languages situation. State has a high, to put it in perspective, Kerala is a state with 100% literacy, which is pretty rare among any states. If you take any state in India, it's pretty high. But internet penetration in the state itself was not as high as some other states. Like we don't have much metros or any of those things that can bring in the concept from other world into the state and spread it across. So that is that's also changing at this point. It is on the works, and it will be interesting to note that a lot of people actually contributed to English Wikipedia, but they never bothered to come and try to help the local language Wikipedia. And I think it's still the case, and I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. So. The recent challenge that we had, that when Unicode Consortium moved from 5.0 to 5.1, they changed the things around a little bit, which literally broke the way we do searches. And recently, Tim and his group, what they did was they actually wrote a conversion module. If you try to save anything in 5.0, it will automatically convert it into 5.1. So we had to, one fine morning we come in, we never heard of that implementation. One fine morning we realized that main page is gone, because main page was in the local language, and it had a letter which was actually replaced in 5.1. So you don't have a main page anymore. So it was a tedious effort for the next few days. All of us were frantically writing a board to do a null edit on all the pages in all sister concerns of the project. And I mean, we can argue that it could have been communicated better and done better to avoid this, but it's a story. Okay, some major milestones. So, as you can see, 2002 we started. Until 2004 we had 100 pages out there. And right around in 2004, after 2004, I mentioned that we had a lot of we got a fully functional font, we got a new typing system that we can put in. That actually accelerated the blogging in the Malayalam language. In fact, blogging was the fuel that spiked up everything from there, and including myself. I was a Malayalam blogger before I actually got into the Wikipedia, and there was I should mention a couple of names, like there was one Mr. Manjit. He was actually he was a blogger and a Wikipedian, and he was probably the first. I think he was the first sysop we had in the language. So he was so so big an advocate of the language, the Wikipedia. He started a lot of events like trivias and introductions, and he started writing a lot in blogs, and that actually brought in a lot of people into the Wikipedia project. So, and you can see that we took off right from there. That like we usually joke that the first 100 article we took 2 years to get there. These days 100 article comes in a couple of weeks, and that's how we are growing. We have including boards, I think we have over 200 active edits that happen, active users that does at least something in the Wikipedia every month. So it's growing, largely due to the fact that we are doing a lot of outreach programs at this point, a lot of help from media, a lot of help from the state government that actually helps us go faster at this point. Right, what I was talking about. So Malayalam blogging, Varamari system, and one thing that we always say to any new Wikipedian that comes into Malayalam Wikipedia, we don't really count how many articles you created. We only want to know what quality that has, and that has been a case all over ever since 2004. We decided that we will not focus on article counts. We will focus on how good you can produce an article out for people. So that still goes. Right now, as a part of the 10th anniversary, one of the actions that is being taken, or one of the celebration methods that is being taken, is to convert stubs into large articles. So we say that we have a lot of stub articles at this point, especially about the small villages of Kerala, which is very hard to find in the internet. You look for a place, I mean, you can probably look for even my place, and that place was only written in Wikipedia a couple of weeks back. I mean, and that still itself is a very small article. It's still a stub. We are trying to bring more people in, and we are trying to say that, okay, as a part of the 10th anniversary celebration, I know everybody cannot make it to a celebration, but let's do this. And I think in the last 1 week we got about close to 50 articles converted into big articles, and that is going on. Couple of other things that I should say when I talk about the growth factor is how great the support from the state government and the media has been. Media, especially a couple of Malayalam dailies like Madhubhumi and Manorama, they really, each article that was published by them brought in thousands of people in a day to just sign up. We have over 23,000 registered users, but as always, it's not going to happen that everybody comes and edits, but it's there. But every time it is going to really. Okay. Then we have support from the state government's IT department. We did a collaborative effort with them called, or rather they wanted us to help them set up their school wiki, where they have to put every school items in. And that actually won the national award for the IT innovation in the government. Sorry. So where does the statistics takes us? I'm not going to talk about any of those things, but this is what our projections are, just based on statistics. About our little outreach programs, we had about 12